So yesterday we cut in here. I cut down, I don't know, 3 or 4 trees here. A couple over here, a couple over there, a couple over there. And today I'm going to start on this big one over here. We're going to start on that one there. That's a big nasty one. It looks like it's going to want to go into the basswoods right that way, which is okay. It's probably just drop it in. I don't want it to go out into the pond because then we have to be out there in the water. It'd be nice to drop it this way, but all the weight is over there, so I'm probably going to drop it somewhere right over there. That's the plan anyway. And then we're going to start working this way. We're going to go, and there's a really big one back in there, and all these littler ones out here got to come down. So those work around the bowl. That's what we got to do. All those are all dead ash trees all through there. So. Well, it's down, kinda. I knew the limbs would get caught up. That's why I cut some of these trees. I have to cut some more out here. We'll just keep whittling on it, and through the chain, obviously, you can see when it split off when I cut the butt off here. But we'll just keep cutting on it, and I'll cut it into chunks, and we'll pull it with the tractor out of here because we want to be able to make the road going right through here. I'm going to cut a couple more of these basswoods down because they're in the way anyway. So I threw the chain, just come back here because I forgot my scrunch, and I wanted to grab some other stuff anyway. I wanted to grab a lighter pair of gloves and take the other saw back in with me too. But yeah, if you haven't thrown a chain or if you haven't been pinched, you don't cut very much. It happens. And what I did was the most likelihood of throwing a chain is when you have those 2 pieces hung up and you get that slide down and the saw is still in the cut. It does that. That's every time I've ever thrown a chain, it's been something like that. Or when I'm cutting brush and I'm cutting horizontal, you got a loose chain, it'll throw it sometimes. But when you got a big one you're cutting and it's hung up like that, and you cut the butt off, your end log, your butt log, it'll happen sometimes. I couldn't pull the saw out fast enough and just threw it. And I didn't even realize it until I went to make my next cut, and it was off, so we'll put her back on. We sharpened all the saws last night as soon as we got home. Cleaned everything up and got them all good to go again. And that's generally what I do is the day before I'm gonna go somewhere, the night before. I go over everything, make sure everything's sharp, make sure everything's all good to go, and because in the morning you want to just go to work. I know I've talked to several other people, a couple loggers and a couple other people too. They like to, first thing when they get back at the end of the day, just go through everything, tune everything up, gas everything up, fuel everything up, grease everything up, just get it done so that in the morning you can get right to work, swarm everything up and go. It's kind of nice. So get this put back together, make sure I got it on the right way. I always got to look because it can happen. I only got my scrunch, so, and we'll get this tightened like I like it. I got one guide right here. It's got a little nick in it. It won't go in, which is why I keep my Dremel here. What I'll do is I'll just where you get your your chain guides here, you get a little burr on them sometimes when you throw them, you just grind that off a little bit. That's what I'm going to do. And some guys will just throw the chain away. Or they throw it in a pile and go back to work, grab a different saw. We just got here, so I'm going to want this saw today. So all it is one tooth. There's a little burr on this one right here, and it won't go in. It's not that one, it's not that one. This one right here. This is the one right here. It's the only one too, so that's, which is good. I can just feel a little burr right there. There we go. I just ground on the burr. I got it off. I forgot to turn the camera back on. Now I can tighten her up. I've just done this so many times, I just know about how tight I want it. I can do the nickel thing, or I can lay it down and do it, but let's get it snug and I'll check it here just to be sure. I generally put gloves on all the time when I'm doing this because I've been cut so many times, and I found that when you get cut and you got bar oil in the cut, it gets infected. Yeah, that's perfect. That's right where I like them. Cut that off and This is the next tree. It's a dead ash, and it looks like it's gonna want to go that way because it's leaning towards me and that big branch. We got that spruce tree to clear there. Well, I'm gonna cut all this little stuff down here so it can drop right through there, because there's just all these little basswoods, and thinning them out won't be a bad thing. These are all basswoods in here, so that's why I'm trying to thin them out. And this elm tree right here, you can see it's starting to die, or it's dead already because the bark's all coming off, as you can see. So I'm going to cut that down too. I'll probably cut these 4 right here, and then that dead spruce there, balsam, whatever that was, and then that walnut right there, basswood, these. I'll cut all these out of here. They can drop right where I'm standing, right through here. At least that's the plan. I'm going to wedge it this way because I don't want it to go to the pond for sure, because that's just, it'll be hard to get it out of there. We'd have to have ropes and chains and pulling, and with as greasy as the ground is, it's hard to get any traction without chains. I got to get some chains. I should have chains for this job. It would have made a world of difference. I'm sweating. I'm just dripping wet on the inside, and wind's picking up and getting cold now. I got to keep moving. Hit some wire, so I got to sharpen. Got a bunch of jagged teeth. So here's the tree that fell, and it's hung up on this basswood up here, well, 2 basswoods. I'm gonna cut this basswood, so there's a lot of tension on that baby. So I'm gonna do a little bit of a cut on the far side, and then I'm just gonna whittle away at it and let it gradually just work the pressure off. It's basswood, so it might just snap. I don't know, we'll see. But we'll see what happens. I'll have the camera running in case I die. what? Oh, the wire right down here. Now I gotta get that one. Chain again. Got up in that brush there to hit some wire through my chain. Oh. Gotta go sharpen it again too. Hit that wire, put the chain on, get something to drink. Well, I get the truck again. Hit that woven wire twice. You just can't see it. It just hides in the brush there. One time I hit it, and I know I chipped a tooth or maybe even broke a tooth off because it grabbed. Almost pulled the saw right out of my hand. And then I hit it again and threw the chain. It's always something. I can see Adam in the woods over there. And I can hear him pounding. His saw is off, so he must be trying to walk a tree over. You can kind of just barely see him. I don't think you guys, if you see that big bushy, it's a white oak, he's right below it. I can just see him down there. He's cutting. It must be a tree going to fall any second now. So this is a coat tree, and I knew they would be split like that. So it was either cut them one at a time or cut them both. I cut them both, and it worked. But we want to be able to take these and pull them that direction. So I figured if I cut them, you know, when they split like this, we can pull that one out, pull this one. I cut this at an angle so it'll ride up and over this when we pull it out, because otherwise it would have got caught because it was behind the stump. So now I can cut this little guy and then this one, and I can head my way over to the big boy there. And there's all these in here too that got to go yet too. So this all has to be opened up. Woo! About what? We're in the coat tree, so I had to do some finagling to get them down together. Good. Should be good. Lift it up, guys. You can get it. There you go. Ah! Came off. So there's yesterday's 2 loads, and then today's 2 loads are up over here around the corner. And this is today's 2 loads right here. So we're making a little pile.